Good evening and welcome to the real world. Tonight is the outside of Rachel. We may know, of course, it's also the outside of the Mir Yeshiva, Rabbi Tzvi, Finkel, Alva Shalom. I want to share a story with you. If it takes longer than the normal 3 minutes, Zay Michael, feel free to go, drink l'chaim, light a candle, or stay right here at Rabbi Tzvi. Well, we are Bacham. Rabbi Tzvi was one of the greatest innovators, the most original thinkers ever. Not just in learning, but even in ways to get people to learn. Now, everybody who looked at him, anybody who was ever zeicher to see him, or even if you saw a picture of him, you understand that this was a man who every second of his life took such tenacity and such resilience and such strength. He was a very sick man. But what you saw first wasn't the fact that he was shaking, it wasn't the fact that he was weak, it was the radiance of his face and the beauty of his smile and the love that just coursed and brought you into his embrace as soon as he looked at you. Anyhow, Mir Yeshiva was learning Baba Basra one winter. And towards the end of the winter, there's always a little bit of a weakening, of a riffian in yeshiva sometimes towards the end of the month, especially in Enriches. You start climbing the travel agent, going home for Pesach, stuff is happening. And Rabbi Tzvi was worried that the level of learning had gone down just a notch. So Rabbi Tzvi decided he's calling a new program. He announces 12 hours a day of learning. He wants all the Bachim to commit to sign a paper. He's going to give a lot of money, a few $100s. 12 hours a day. To learn 12 hours a day, even for a Bacha, is a heroic feat. It means the first Seder, 9 to 1, a second Seder, which is something like 2:30 to 7:30, a night Seder 8 to 12 or Masho, because that was really a long, long day. There's no time, just enough time to grab a bite for lunch, a bite for supper, maybe rest a few minutes, no schmoozing, no stepping out, no fresh air, no nothing. Rabbi Tzvi said, 12 hours a day. And a lot of people signed up, a lot of good Bachim in Mir Yeshiva. I had a good friend, great kid, wonderful, nice, kind, smart, erlich. Not a guy who was built to learning 12 hours a day. He wasn't holding by that kind of intensity. And thank you very much. The sign went up. Of course, he didn't sign his name. Friday after the Rosh Yeshiva Shmuz, I was there. This guy was there. I saw this with my own eyes. Yeshiva says to him, I didn't see your name on the sign-up sheet. Why didn't you sign? So he laughs. He says, Yeshiva, come on. 12 hours? I'm not built. Not for 12 hours, not for 6 hours. And the Yeshiva says, no, you should sign. And he smiles and he expects to go on. But Tzvi stops the line. He's looking for a pen. He liked to do everything by himself, and it was hard for him to move. So it took him half a minute to get his pen, and he pulls his hand across the table, and he gives the pen to the Bachar. He says, sign your name. We see in this week's parasha, the Rajal told Avraham Avinu, your kids will have the ability not to ask, could I count the stars? Could I not count the stars? They're going to count because I said count. This Bachar took the pen, and he signed because the Rosh Yeshiva told him to do it, and you had no choice when the Rosh Yeshiva told him to do it. Sunday morning started the 12-hour program. This Bachar's name was on the list. So he came into first Seder, he had to do it, and he couldn't do it. First Seder stretching in front of him. Long view the Galus. How am I going to get through this first Seder? An hour, a second hour, and finally he's wiped. He feels like he can't learn another word. He's only 3 hours in. Another hour. He's pushing in first Seder, and second Seder, and night Seder. He comes into his deal Sunday night. He's wiped. Boom. Falls straight asleep. Can't believe what he just went through, like an endurance test. And Monday, the same thing again. He's pushing himself, and he's like in his own little bubble. Doesn't talk to anybody. There's no time for schmoozing. There's no time for having fun. There's no time for chilling. And he doesn't even know how he's going to do it. He's just pushing. And it's really hard. Not like he's discovering muscles he didn't even know he had. He's pushing and pulling and prodding, being stretched in every direction. Monday night, Tuesday, again he goes in. Another day, he doesn't even know anymore. Pushing. But he discovers it's a little easier than it was the previous 2 days. Tuesday, second Seder, still he's going, but he's finding that he has new strength he didn't know he had. Tuesday night he goes into his dira, says Shema, falls asleep again. Boom, he's so tired. Tuesday night he dreams and learning. The Sugya and Baba Basra, Chardal, Rashi's Diak, Rab Nachum Shat. He dreams the Cheshbon and learning. He's been learning for 3 days for 12 hours straight. Wednesday morning after Shachris, he runs over, he says, Rosh Yeshiva, I dreamt and learning. And he took his hands and he started to dance with him and he said, come, let's go, drink a l'chaim, you dreamt and learning. That's the story. I know all stories end this way, but it's really true. That this boy is a superstar in Chinuch, a Magachir who did what Rabbi Tzvi did for him for untold amount of Bachim, a superstar. That's just one that I saw, and that was the secret of Rabbi Tzvi. You can expect from Yiddish Kinderlich, you could demand from them. They have the capacity to do anything. Schusay Yagen Aleinu.